Hello, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at how to design your Power BI background, all right, or your visuals, the background for your visuals, okay. And so this is important because sometimes you just want to add a little bit of flair. It's not really that important, but maybe sometimes your Power BI project just want to add a little bit of flair to let people know that yes, you do understand what you are doing in Power BI. All right, it doesn't really do much, but it just probably gives you a sense of fulfillment that indeed you've also moved on from the normal Power BI standard to a more appropriate standard for yourself. I don't know if you get that. All right, and that's where the design, how to design your background comes in. Now this thing is quite important too, because I remember when I first started out on my data analytics journey, I used to just use a white background, and I went for an interview and the guy was like, you know what, you've done well, but there's still so many things like design your background, make your background look appealing. And I had no idea that that was even a thing. I just thought we just use our default background. But from then I decided to explore, and then I got, I discovered what it meant, and it gave me some kind of, fulfillment that I've also been able to learn something outside the standard. And so in today's video, that's what I want to teach you as well. If you're a beginner, if you're new to Power BI, this might be something that you probably haven't paid attention to, and that's what we are looking at today. So let's jump right in and let me show you how to do it. Now, in designing your background, there are about 5 main ways to design your to design your Power BI background. I mean, through my experience with Power BI and working with data analytics. All right, and so in this video we are going to be going through the first to the fourth. The fifth we can't really do that because at the moment, because the fifth way of designing the Power BI background is using what we call PowerPoint. All right, in designing the background, but I don't have the actual PowerPoint. I use WPS, and the is kind of similar. However, when you are saving it in the Excel PowerPoint, there's a way to save it using the scalable or something. Yeah, to save it, that makes it a lot more appropriate when you transfer it to the Power BI dashboard. But I'm not having that in WPS, and so if that is something that you want me to work on, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll find a computer with that particular feature or particular tool, PowerPoint, the actual PowerPoint, and then I'll make a video on that, using that PowerPoint to design a background for you. All right, and so in this video we are taking that out. I just want to put this out there before we begin. All right, so if that is out of the way, let's jump right in. So like I said, there are 5 main ways of designing background in Power BI. All right, and in today's video we are going to be looking at 4. Now the first one is to just use the default background that Power BI provides, which is this. So this is the default background that Power BI provides. All right, this white background. Whenever you open your Power BI report view, all right, this is what you are going to see, and it's all right. This is what I was using when I started out as a data analyst. This is what I was doing. So this is a background that I use, and then I just do my visualizations until I wait for that interview. All right, and it's fine. All right, it's fine. But what if I told you that there's a way to design this so that you don't even have the white color, but you have something else, something more? All right, something that makes your visualization even more appealing. Okay, and that's what we are looking at. And so the first method is to use the default background, which is a white. All right, before we've spoken about it. Now the second method is to use a different color as opposed to the white that Power BI already provides. And so we are talking, we can use a color like blue, like black, like yellow, like orange, like purple, green, what have you. So depending on, so let's say you work with a telecommunication company like Airtel Tigo. All right, and Airtel Tigo, the color that they use is mainly blue, white, and red. All right, and so you want a color that matches their brand. All right, and so you can just maybe use the blue as a background, and then you can use the white and red in your formattings, all right, to showcase the brand's color. All right, or you can go with the red depending on how you want to go about it, all right? Or depending on how your manager wants you to go about it, all right? And so you can just change the background. So how do you change your background? Let's jump right into it. Now, to change the background, we first need to understand that you need to move out of the visualization. Now, if you are in the visualization, you can't change your background, because when you come here, all right, when you come to the format visual, this side, you are not going to get the option to change the background. Now, there's something that you need to keep in mind, especially if you're a new beginner. If you're in the visualization, you won't be able to change the background for this. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to come out of the visualization, come right here. Now you can see that when we come here, now we have this. We don't have what we had when we were in the visualization. Now look at this. We are no more in the visualization. This is what we have. But when we are in any visualization, this is what we are going to have. So it takes away the opportunity to do what we want to do. All right. And so to do this, first of all, come out, come to the main report view outside the visualization. Now you come right up here, click on this. All right. And now what are we going to do? Or what are we searching for? We are searching for the canvas background. So this background is called the canvas background. This background that the visualizations are placed on, it's called a canvas background. Okay. And so you go to the canvas background, you hit on the arrow. Now you can select whichever color that you want. Okay, you can select whichever color that you want. And so in this case, let's say I want to change the background color. I want to give it something like a blue. All right, I want to give it this color. All right, and so once I click on, I select it, I come to blue. Now normally you realize that it's like this. This transparency is like this. All right, normally this is how you see it, even after selecting the color or changing the color. This is how you are going to see it. And so when you see it this way, you don't need to panic. All you have to do is come to the transparency, reduce the transparency to 0, and it's going to give you a color. All right, that's as simple as it is. All you need to do is that you need to reduce the transparency to 0%, and you are going to get a color. And so right now, as we have this, we can come back up here and say we don't want the blue anymore because the blue doesn't look okay. We want to change it to maybe like this color, you know, or to change it to probably like this color, or we want to change it to a black. All right, and it's fine. All right, and so the first method is to use the default Power BI report view. The second is to change your background, to change your color using this process. All right, now let's move on to the third one. So let's go back. Now the third one is to use what we call picture. All right, so you can use a picture background. So maybe if you don't want the default background, you don't want to use a simple color like black or yellow or whatever, and you have a picture that you want to use a picture as a background, that is also fine. You can use a picture as a background. Now how do we do this? How do you use a picture as a background? Now first you go to insert. Once you are in insert or you are at insert, you go to image, select the picture that you want. All right, so let's say in this scenario I'm going to use FIFA 2021 Mbappe. Now we have a project that we'll be working on. That's why I have this. So come to Mbappe, go to click on open, and yeah, should load. And so now it's loaded. So now I have this, and now you are confused. Now you don't need to be confused. Once you have this, all you can do is that you go to your style, you realize that it's a normal, hit the arrow, change it. You can use fit or you can use fill, whichever one that you think makes sense. And then once you do that, you can just drag it. All right, drag it to cover the page. Okay, and so now you have your page, and you can do your visualizations on this page as well. So you have units. So let's say, all right, so now we have our unit and we have our product name, and we want to do our visual. We've done our visualization, so you can again just we've not gotten to formatting, but you can even do some few things with this, you know, format it as well to match the color and so on and so forth. All right, and so yeah, so you have to put this, you have to take this back. All right, you can take this, we will take this back, but today we are not doing that yet. Today we are just talking about the background. So yeah, so you can also do this. So this is a background. All right, this is a background. Okay, you can format, take it back, and all of that. And then the last but not the least is you can design the background. So the first is to use the default background. The second is to change the default color to a color that you want. The third is to use a picture. And the fourth is to just, use what we call shapes to design your background. Alright. Now normally I like to combine shapes with other pictures or shapes with a color background, but you can also just use the shapes. Alright. So what the shape does is that it gives you the opportunity. So you have a shape like this. Alright, so what the shape also does is that it helps you to create a background. Alright, in essence, it helps you to create a background in essence. Now, how do you create the shapes? Again, you come to insert, where we went to get a picture, and then we go to shapes. And I will hit on shapes and select whichever shapes that you want to use. Alright, so there are so many shapes here. You can select whichever one that you want. And so in this scenario, let's say we want to use this. So I have this, and then I can create my shape. Alright, I can create my shapes. Alright, so now I have this. I can create another shape. Alright, and say, alright, so this shape, I want to make this shape small. Alright, I want to make this shape like this, and then I copy, can bring it down here. So you can just play with the shapes however way you want it. Alright, however way you want it, you can just play with the shape. So we can also use shapes. Alright, and then yeah, you can use shapes. So this is it. So you can, after that, you can just change the colors as well. You can come here, style, change the color. If you don't want this color, you can use black, and you can change this color as well. You can use black, you can change it as well. So you can just use shapes to also create a background. Now I'll show you how to combine the shapes with a with another color or a picture in our next video. Alright, or in the next two videos, because in the next video we'll be looking at formatting. Alright, in Power BI, how to format our visualizations, how to make our visualizations catchy and appealing. Alright, and so maybe in that video we'll talk a little bit about combining the shapes with a different background design, or in the next two videos we'll look at that. Alright, and so yes, this brings us to the end of today's video. I want to say, if you enjoyed today's video and you liked it, then do well to leave a like, and then do well to leave a comment down below saying that you really did enjoy it. If there was something that you wanted me to go over, just let me know as well. I'll do that. Again, if you are interested in knowing how to use PowerPoint to create these backgrounds, just let me know. Leave that in the comment section below. I'll look at what I can do, get a laptop, and then I'm going to create a video on that as well for you. Alright, and so yes, this brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you all for being here, and I really do appreciate it. See you in the next one. Alright.